On February 26, 747 BC, the reign of Nabonassar began in Babylon. This date marks the start of the Nabonassar Era, used by historians to establish the modern BC chronology for dating historical events. Nabonassar's reign is noted for the systematic maintenance of chronologically precise historical records. Chandragupta I ascended to the throne around 320 CE, marking the beginning of the Gupta Empire in northern and central India. His reign is often considered the start of a golden age in India, characterized by significant achievements in arts, science, and political administration. He strengthened his position through a strategic marriage to Kumaradevi, a princess of the Lashavi tribe, which expanded his influence. On February 26, 1266, the Battle of Benevento took place near Benevento in present-day southern Italy. The forces of Charles I of Anjou defeated the army led by Manfred, King of Sicily. Manfred's death in this battle led to Charles's conquest of the Kingdom of Sicily, effectively ending the rule of the Hohenstaufen dynasty in the Italian peninsula and marking the rise of the royal Capetian House of Anjou. In 1365, King Thado Minbya founded the Ava Kingdom in Upper Burma, now Myanmar. Established as the successor to the petty kingdoms of Myeonsang, Pinya, and Sagaing, Ava became the dominant kingdom in the region, ruling Upper Burma from 1364 to 1555. In 1606, Dutch navigator Willem Janszoon captained the first recorded European landing on the Australian continent. Sailing from Bantam, Java, Janszoon explored the western coast of Cape York Peninsula in northern Queensland, mistaking it for a southern extension of New Guinea. This voyage marked the beginning of European exploration of Australia. On February 26, 1616, Galileo Galilei was formally warned by Cardinal Robert Bellarmine not to espouse heliocentrism. The view that the Earth orbits the Sun, the Roman Catholic Church also banned Nicholas Copernicus' book on the revolutions of the celestial spheres, which presented the heliocentric theory. This marked a significant conflict between science and religious doctrine. On February 26, 1775, the British East India Company's factory on Balambangan Island, located off the northern tip of Borneo, was destroyed by Moro pirates. The settlement had been established as a trading post, but mismanagement and poor relations with local populations led to its downfall. On February 26, 1815, Napoleon Bonaparte escaped from exile on the island of Elba. He landed on the French mainland on March 1, 1815, and began his return to power, a period known as the 100 Days. This culminated in his final defeat at the Battle of Waterloo. In 1870, inventor Alfred Ely Beach demonstrated the Beach Pneumatic Transit, the first attempt to build an underground public transit system in New York City. The demonstration featured a single-car subway line powered by pneumatic pressure, running a short distance under Broadway. Although it was not developed into a full transit system, it showcased innovative ideas in urban transportation. On February 26, 1876, Japan and Korea signed the Treaty of Gangwa. The treaty granted Japanese citizens extraterritorial rights in Korea, opened 3 Korean ports to Japanese trade, and ended Korea's status as a tributary state of Qing Dynasty China. This marked the beginning of increased Japanese influence over Korean affairs. On February 26, 1909, Kinemacolor, the first successful color motion picture process, was first shown to the general public at the Palace Theatre in London. Developed by George Albert Smith, Kinemacolor was a 2-color additive process that projected black and white film through alternating red and green filters, bringing natural color to cinema for the first time. On February 26, 1914, the HMHS Britannic, sister ship to the RMS Titanic, was launched at the Harland and Wolff shipyard in Belfast. Originally intended to be a passenger liner, the Britannic was requisitioned as a hospital ship during World War I. It sank in the Aegean Sea in 1916 after striking a mine. On February 26, 1919, President Woodrow Wilson signed legislation designating the Grand Canyon as a national park, marking it as the 15th national park in the United States. This move provided federal protection to the area, preserving its unique geological features and rich biodiversity. The Grand Canyon, carved over millennia by the Colorado River, offers a profound record of Earth's geological history. On February 26, 1929, President Calvin Coolidge signed legislation creating Grand Teton National Park in Wyoming. The initial park encompassed the Teton Range and several glacial lakes, covering approximately 96,000 acres. Over time, the park expanded to include much of the adjacent valley known as Jackson Hole, thanks in part to land donations from philanthropist John D. Rockefeller, Jr. In 1935, Adolf Hitler announced the reformation of the Luftwaffe, Germany's air force, in direct violation of the Treaty of Versailles, which had prohibited Germany from maintaining an air force after World War I. This move was part of Hitler's broader strategy to rebuild Germany's military power and assert its dominance in Europe, setting the stage for World War II. On February 26, 1935, British engineer Robert Watson Watt conducted a successful demonstration of radar technology near Daventry, England. This experiment proved that radio waves could be used to detect aircraft, leading to the development of radar systems that played a crucial role in Britain's air defense during World War II. During World War II, on February 26, 1945, U.S. forces successfully recaptured Corregidor Island in the Philippines from Japanese occupation. The island had strategic significance due to its location at the entrance of Manila Bay. Its liberation was a pivotal moment in the Pacific Theater, contributing to the eventual defeat of Japanese forces in the Philippines. On February 26, 1966, NASA launched AS-201, the first flight of the Saturn IB rocket, as part of the Apollo program. This uncrewed suborbital mission tested the command and service module's structural integrity and heat shield, providing essential data for subsequent manned missions that would eventually lead to landing astronauts on the Moon. In 1979, Amtrak introduced the Superliner railcar into revenue service. These double-decker passenger cars were designed to enhance comfort and capacity on long-distance routes. The Superliners remain a staple of Amtrak's fleet, serving various routes across the United States. On February 26, 1987, the Tower Commission, appointed to investigate the Iran-Contra affair, issued a report criticizing President Ronald Reagan for failing to adequately supervise his national security staff. The report highlighted significant deficiencies in the administration's oversight and contributed to changes in how future administrations managed national security operations. During the First Nagorno-Karabakh War, on February 26, 1992, Armenian armed forces attacked the town of Khojaly in Azerbaijan. The assault resulted in the deaths of hundreds of Azerbaijani civilians and is remembered as one of the most tragic incidents of the conflict. The Khojaly massacre remains a deeply contentious and painful subject in Armenian-Azerbaijani relations. On February 26, 1993, a truck bomb detonated below the North Tower of the World Trade Center in New York City. The explosion killed 6 people and injured over 1,000. The attack was a precursor to the more devastating events of September 11, 2001, and highlighted the emerging threat of international terrorism against the United States. In 1995, Barings Bank, the United Kingdom's oldest investment banking institution, collapsed after one of its traders, Nick Leeson, incurred losses exceeding $1.4 billion through unauthorized speculative trading on the Singapore International Monetary Exchange. The incident underscored the risks of inadequate oversight in financial institutions and led to significant changes in banking regulations. On February 26, 2008, the New York Philharmonic performed a concert in Pyongyang, North Korea. This event marked the first time a major U.S. cultural institution had performed in the reclusive nation. The concert was seen as a potential opening for cultural diplomacy between the two countries, though substantial political differences remained. On February 26, 2012, 17-year-old African-American student Trayvon Martin was fatally shot by George Zimmerman, a neighborhood watch coordinator in Sanford, Florida. The incident sparked national debates over racial profiling, self-defense laws, and gun control, leading to the emergence of the Black Lives Matter movement and ongoing discussions about systemic racism in the United States.